Hi, hello. Welcome, Moon Griffon Show. What a sleepless night. Wow, what a sleepless night. Phone blowing up since yesterday. Phone blew up all night. Phone blowing up this morning. Emails from people I don't even know. And anyway, great to have y'all with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. We'll sort it all out. All right, by now, if you didn't know, Eddie Rispone has spent $1 million to attack Ralph Abraham. Now, number one is Eddie Rispone promised on this program, on the show when he first came on, that he would not attack a fellow Republican, and that's out the window. Look, I know Eddie. I've been friends with Eddie for years, and Eddie's not a bad guy. But the bottom line is his consultants suck, and his consultants have done this, but he allowed it. And the word I get is they dig in. And all we got to do is go back to 2015 when Scott Angel and the ignorant liberal Jay Darden, who, by the way, not only knifed David Vitter, got all you people to vote against Vitter or don't vote at all. He's making $237,500 a year. His retirement's up to $16,000 a year. I mean, a month for the rest of his life. And y'all forget that. And Eddie Rispone comes along and does what? You've got to be joking to launch a negative. No, he basically took an ad from Gumbo Pack, the most filthiest, nastiest bunch of trashy people that you could ever come across. And he ran with their ad. That's all he did. Talking about Abraham bought a $500 and something $1,000 plane. I think Eddie's plane's worth about $5 million. Now, Eddie, I've stayed out of this race trying to help both of you guys just get to the runoff. The easiest win we've ever had was against Bel Edwards. This guy's done nothing but run this state. He's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. And what do? You run a nasty ad against Ralph Abraham? All this time, the delegation's been sitting on their rear end. Everybody's been sitting on pins and needles. What to do? We got two Republicans. Okay, well, as long as they don't attack everybody. That's all I've heard. That's all I've heard. And here comes the Rispone campaign and consultants. We got to attack. Let me tell you how stupid this is. Right now, if you look at polls, and I've seen a lot of them that some of you may have not seen, Bel Edwards is 42 to 47%, but it's in the margin of error winning this thing. Ralph Abraham is anywhere from 24 to 28%, and Eddie's anywhere from 16 to 19. Okay, let me tell you how stupid this is. So if you add up Rispone and Ralph Abraham's total vote, you're talking about less than Governor Edwards. So if Rispone runs a negative ad and pulls 100% of the votes off Ralph Abraham, you're still in the same boat. It makes no sense for you to attack a Republican like this. It's ridiculous that you allow the consultants to get you to do this, to get you to go after it. It almost looks like, remember I told y'all yesterday, Brandon, if I had to lose a race and I was a Republican, I would do everything we've done. The delegation doesn't come and get involved. We stay out of it. We coined the phrase, wait till the runoff. And the last thing I forgot to add is one of the opponents attacked the other one, and that's what Eddie Rispone's done. Mr. Eddie, I thought you were better than this. I thought you had more character in this. You mean to tell me you want to be the man they go around and look at and say, look at that, there's the guy that cost us election, to give this leftist Looney Tune, no different than AOC Bel Edwards, another opportunity to win. That don't make any sense. That's stupidity at best. The ad needs to be pulled immediately. If you want to run negative ads, run them against that governor we got. The guy that's destroying our jobs in the oil and gas industry. He's destroying everything we've got that's wholesome. He's running people out of Dodge, and he's growing government, and he's going to be suing every other company next. This guy's been horrible for the state of Louisiana, and you're attacking the wrong guy. You're attacking the good guy. Why would you attack Ralph Abraham? Ralph Abraham, folks, is a good Christian guy. He's been a good man for a long, long time. He's been a great guy. Eddie, we thought you were too. We know you've been involved in elections, helping people win elections, but you're doing the one thing that everybody feared, that one candidate would turn on another, and you've proved us to be right once somebody did it, and it's you. Now, Eddie, I'm telling you right now, pull the damn ad. Excuse my French. Pull it. Pull it now and apologize and go run your campaign. Pull it. So what you done now forced me to do something. I wholeheartedly endorse Ralph Abraham. Ralph Abraham can be our next governor. Eddie, you can't. And the thing about the whole commercial is a lie. That's what makes me mad too. Not only did he go negative, he went with a lie. Folks, we need to get behind Ralph Abraham. We need to get behind him now. We need to get behind Ralph Abraham. We need Ralph Abraham to jump up to 38, 40% and get in a runoff. We need everybody on board. We need the delegation to get off their rear ends and come and be involved and get in the foxhole. Garrett Graves, Steve Scalise. You too, Bill Cassidy. You up next year too. Bill, and let me ask y'all a question. If somebody runs against Cassidy and Garrett Graves and they're Republicans, do we want to wait for the runoff? Do we wait for the runoff? I've been telling you, I've been watching this. And I'd be dang if Eddie Rispone didn't do the one thing we don't need at this time. Bel Edwards and them, they were saving their champagne for the election. Now they open it today. Eddie, do you hate Rispone? Do you hate Abraham enough to put Bel Edwards back in office? Because it looks, I'm just going to say it again like I said yesterday. If I wanted to lose an election, and I wanted to give it to a socialist like Bel Edwards, I would do everything we've done to this point. And now you've really done it. But it ain't too late because we got Trump voters out there that understand we go vote, we still make a difference despite what you just did. And you people, local elected officials, sheriffs, all you people that run as a conservative Republican, it's now time to come out. Brandon, what's the date? The 17th? 11 days we start voting. 11 days we start voting. You can't pull voters off of the other Republican and expect to win. What are you trying to do? Say, well, we got second? You know, Brandon? So Edwards wins with 50% plus one, and Eddie can go around and say, well, at least I came in second. Well, that's real good, Eddie. You came in second. You helped put Bel Edwards in the damn office. This is ridiculous. This is the kind of crap. I told y'all, I'm being honest with you. You hand 2 slices of bread and 1 piece of ham to a Republican. And I guarantee you they'll screw the ham sandwich up every single time. That's who they are. This is probably the easiest governor's win we could have ever had. To beat Bel Edwards, a socialist, who's going to support the socialist Democrat, who's, by the way, there's an oil and gas thing that he was invited to, and back in May, he couldn't come because he's going to be in Atlanta raising money with national Democrats, and the people that are raising the money are the same people who supported Stacey Abrams in Georgia and Hillary Clinton. That's what Bel Edwards is going to be. Let me tell you something else, Mr. Rispone. I've watched this happen 1,000 times. You pull voters off Ralph, they're not going to go to you. You know what the voter that you're going to try to pull off Ralph Abraham going to do? Number one, they're going to go vote for Edwards because they tired all the crap. Or number two, they're not going to vote. That's what they did last election. We had 150,000 people didn't even go vote in the governor's race. They didn't even go vote. I watched, let me give you another story when this has happened, Brandon. You're not going to be familiar with this, but I'm going to tell you. Rodney Alexander was the Democrat. We had a new congressman. Clyde Holloway was running. Robert Borum was running. Lee Fletcher was running. Rodney Alexander was the Democrat. Okay? And there may have been somebody else, and if I missed somebody, I apologize. So they run. And Senator Robert Borum at the time was running. And Robert Borum started attacking Clyde Holloway because he was running second with Rodney Alexander being the Democrat. He was going to be in the runoff. You with me? 5th Congressional District. So Borum starts to attack Clyde Holloway, who's sitting to go in the runoff. And Clyde is polling every night. And Clyde calls Borum because they told me. He said, Robert, your ad of popping me is working. You're pulling votes off of me. He said, but they're not going to you. They're going to Lee Fletcher. They're not going to you, Robert. They're going to, guess what? Alexander led, Lee Fletcher was second, Clyde Holloway was third, and Robert Borum, I like Senator Borum, I've been knowing him a year. Robert Borum came in dead last. And what Eddie Rispone is done, which is a lie, he's making it more difficult than it was in an election we ought to walk in. running against a socialist like Bel Edwards, a dang socialist. But yet what you're doing, Mr. Eddie, because I know you're a good guy. I've been knowing you for years. You got bad people running your campaign. You got all these outsiders running your campaign. They don't know Louisiana. They don't know the banana republic we can be. They don't have a clue. They don't have a clue, Eddie. But you paid them. They got your money. That's all they've done is taking your money. They're running a scam. You're better off running your good commercials and beating on Edwards. That's what you ought to be doing. And if it ain't meant to be, so what? You know how many people have lost elections before? If it's not meant to be, so what? There's nobody loses more elections than me. I lose about 90% of them. If my people ever get in and we take over, we're going to have real conservatism, not this fake stuff. I'm just trying to figure out, what are you doing? Are you trying to get Bel Edwards reelected? Because that, to me, is what you're trying to do. That's what I told y'all yesterday when I told you all these things Republicans are doing to make sure we lose. Add this one to it. Our best bet and hope, this is a two-man race. This is Ralph Abraham against Bel Edwards. And, folks, we got to go vote. We got to really go vote now. I cannot believe, Eddie, pull the ad now. You don't want to apologize, fine, but pull the ad, sir. We'll be back. Hi, y'all all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. Yeah, it troubled me. Really troubles me. But I'm all in with Ralph Abraham now. I think Ralph's the guy, and Ralph we need to get behind. Ralph's been doing this by himself the whole time anyway. Just think if he got help. Now he can get help. Where's the delegation? Come on. If the delegation sits back and the Republican Party sits back, that'll tell me they're not into it like you and me are. They're not into it like you and me. They don't care enough about it like you and me. They don't understand what's happening. I know Eddie. I like Eddie. I think he's a better man than this. And a better man would say, I'm sorry, yank it, and just run his campaign. The enemy to the state is Bel Edwards, not Ralph Abraham. You know, I saw a commercial, Brandon. Gumbo Pack, nastiest, filthiest, trashiest bunch of sleazeballs I've ever seen. They're doing one with Jindal, and they're trying to say it's Eddie Rispone and Abraham. You saw that? But this is what's ironic. Bel Edwards voted with Bobby Jindal on 6 of the 8 budgets. He voted to cut higher ed, cut education, and cut this and cut that and use and raid the funds. Bel Edwards was a floor leader for him. Bel Edwards was on a budget committee. Bel Edwards was right there with Jindal for 8 years, only to inherit everything.
And I'll tell you, people were calling them out on that last night because the ad appeared on my Facebook with Gumbo Pack, and people were calling him out and said, that's BS. He voted for 6 of 8 of Jindal's
And look,
budgets.
I got it on my Facebook. It's all documented. Nobody can dare do it. And that's what I was telling you. So they're running ads. They're lying. Ralph's the guy. It's a two-man race. Eddie's so far back, that's why he's doing this, because his consultants would have never said to do this. His consultants, he's too good a person to let this go. He's too good. Jay Darden wasn't worth a crap. Okay? He's just not worth it. Eddie, save your reputation, because people are going to laugh at you. Everybody's fearing 2015. This man's got to go, Eddie, not Ralph. Edwards needs to go. Put your attention where it needs to go to. My God, everything I've gotten, I'm going to sum it up in a couple emails. Eddie Rispone first to launch attack ads on other GOP candidates for governor, so I will no longer be considering him for a vote. Well, you got a consideration. It's him or Ralph or Edwards. And if you're not going to vote for Edwards, you're not vote for Rispone, you got to get behind Abraham. I'm sorry. It's the way I feel. I tried not to do this. I've been sitting back over and over and over again on this race, for both of them. I like both of them, but not anymore. All right, let's go. Somebody said it's time to come up with a nickname. I could say Republican ripping Rispone, but I'm not going to go there. All right, let's go to John on the road. John, how you doing?
Doing good, Moon, and you?
Doing great, sir. Good to hear from you.
Look, I was just calling to, I was going to vote for Mr. Rispone, but when he pulled this attack ad, I'm going with Ralph now.
But you see, now let me tell you what we need now. Where is our delegation on all this? Why don't they jump up and help us now? Where's our statewide elected officials? Why don't they jump up and help us now? I mean, now's the time to get behind, get somebody. It's not too late. We got almost 30 days for the election, but it's 11 days till we start voting early. You know, here's somebody else just wrote me. Well, Eddie did me a favor. I was having a hard time deciding what Republican to vote for. Eddie just helped. I'm telling you, this is a total backlash on Rispone. And I'm telling you, it's been in a big, big way. Whatever he was trying to cut. The only thing, if he's happy with this, and they're going to keep doing this ad, that tells that. Here's my question to you, John. I'll let you answer. If he continues this, because he's losing voters left and right now, if he continues this, my question is he trying to, I'm going to ask the question. People can get mad at me if they want to. Is he trying to now help Abraham win? Because I got to start asking the question because Republicans look like they're trying to lose by not getting involved. Is Eddie going to go down as a guy that tried to help Edwards? Is he Jay Darden too?
Sounds like it to me.
Yeah. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear what he just did. And I'm going to tell you, it's his consultants, it's ignorant people from outside this state, but it's your name on it. It's your name on it. So, all right, John, appreciate the call. Let me read this, another one. You can always email me, folks, moon@moongriffon.com, moon@moongriffon.com. Okay? He says, well, Eddie did me a favor. I was having a hard time trying to decide which one of the Republicans to vote for. Eddie cleared it up for me in a minute. I thought he was running attack ads on Abraham. I'm not interested in even hearing that ad. Now I can vote early and vote for Ralph. And I'm telling you, folks, I didn't want to do it, and I'm doing it. I'm voting for Ralph Abraham, and I'm tickled to death to be voting for Ralph Abraham. Now, I had the same problem y'all had. I'm back and forth. I like both of them. But this set it off for me. I don't care who gets mad at me. I don't care what they do. It's time for us to rally behind Ralph Abraham, but I need the delegation to rally, and the state Republican Party needs to rally. If Eddie would just apologize, quit it, it would help us a lot. I would think a lot more of him. Let's go to Steve in Monroe. Steve, how you doing, sir?
Fine, Moon. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing superb, sir. Good to hear from you.
Well, a question for you.
Yeah.
I turned into the program late,
all right.
And I got just a brief excerpt of Rispone saying something bad about Abraham, and you kind of basically not willing to support Rispone under those circumstances.
Well, okay. You're right on everything. He came out with a negative av, totally 100%. Most of it, 99% of it is lies. Number two, he said on this program, under no circumstances will he attack Ralph Abraham. He said on this program, he's told a lot of people this. So it's a total change of what he wanted to do. And that tells me, I've been looking at numbers, he's way back, and all of a sudden we're attacking Abraham, which, by the way, this is his consultants. I know Eddie. Eddie's a good guy, but his consultants are telling me, how do you attack the guy in second when you got to get votes off the guy in first? It makes no sense. And this is 2015 all over again if we're not careful.
Yeah.
That's it. It's that simple. It's that simple, Steve. It's about that simple, brother.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say, my problem with Abraham, and I certainly supported him in Congress, and I know he's a good man, but I'm afraid, I really am afraid that there's going to be a lot of conservative voters out there that are going to say, by God, now, Ralph, you said you were giving your salary and you didn't.
No. But see, you're wrong on that. He gave it for 2 years. That's lawyer twist of the tongue. He's also supported him in other ways, given money and things of that nature. And so he gave a salary for 2 years. You know, these guys got to run every 2 years, Steve. They don't. You don't run for one term and then you're there forever. Now, look, I don't like the idea of somebody jumping up saying giving salaries. I wouldn't do that, but he did it. He gave it for 2 years. You're buying into the legal gumbo pack crap of where he should have done it every day the whole life when he never said that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was the case.
No, let me share it with you because I'm glad you called though, sir, because you got a right to have your own opinion. I'm not changing that. You just have your opinion. But listen, he was elected to Congress, and then the House ethics ruled that Abraham could no longer receive private income as a part-time practicing physician. Okay? He nonetheless gave 2 years of all of his first-term salary. Him and his wife continue to give hundreds of thousands of dollars to charity each year. He flies pilots for patients. He flies for free all over the place, spending his money using his own airplane. And that's the kind of stuff that they ran. And I just felt like Eddie wants to win the target's Bel Edwards. And Ralph Abraham professionally said, look, I'm sorry he did this, but we're not going to do this. We know what the goal is. And he gave his money for 2 years, but this is what lawyers do at Gumbo Pack. Oh, you said it, so that means the whole time you were there. Well, he didn't say that, but they run an ad making it sound like that, Steve. So I can understand you thinking, man, I can't believe he did that, but he didn't do anything. He's given hundreds of thousands of dollars to St. Jude. We're talking St. Jude, where every penny counts.
I'm glad you clarified that. It's not about the money. It's just about keeping your word.
Sure, I understand.
And I'm so glad you clarified that because, I can see, gee whiz, I didn't say I'd do it forever, but my first term, he did it, and that's...
Well, let me ask you a question. If I came work for you and I signed a 2-year contract, I said, Steve, I'm going to give all my money to Brandon Como, and people would like that. And I only had a 2-year contract.
like that.
And if I only had a 2-year contract, and I guaranteed I would do that, but the next time I went in and did my contract, I didn't say a word. I didn't say I was, didn't say I wasn't. You see, it's a little twist of words, and you got to remember, Gumbo Pack's the nastiest, filthiest, sleaziest bunch of slime balls that ever was. Eddie's using their material, which doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I'm glad you clarified it, Moon. I try to stay politically in the know, and I did not know that was the case. That does sound like a little bit of a low blow. However, I will say this.
Yes, sir.
Rispone, he sure does ring a lot of my bells and checks off a lot of the boxes for me. I tell you, Rispone reminds me of a Louisiana Ross Perot. I really believe the guy would do a good job. But I see where you're coming from, and I didn't know that was the case. And
yeah,
I really appreciate
my deal is this. I like Eddie. It's nothing to do with liking Eddie. But the problem now is he needs to pull an ad. I mean, the ad's chopped up with lies anyway, and I'm saying, why attack him? He's not running against Ralph. He's really running against Edwards.
Right.
And I think if you're going to really, Brian, I think we got to take a break. If you're going to really do right, man, run against Edwards, not against Ralph. Anyway, thank you, Steve. God bless. Appreciate it. And you vote who you want to vote for. I'm voting for Ralph Abraham. All right, we'll take a break. Donnie in Shreveport, you're up next. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show, rapid fire for sure. We'll be right back.